Hi there. Welcome to Cine Culture with TJ Seaman, where everything we do is for the culture of filmmaking and cinematography. Today, I'll be talking about cinematic composition and how it changes your films by beautifying it and sending the right emotions to your audience. So, with that out of the way, let's do this. Let's discuss cinematic composition. Composition is just a fancy, sophisticated way of saying what's in the viewfinder or camera frame and where it is placed. You will be surprised to see how different frames can be perceived differently by viewers and make for more captivating shots. I have 7 steps and a bonus trick that I practice to ensure great composition no matter which camera I use: a DSLR, cell phone, cinematic camera, or anything else. Thus, you do not need a high-end device or lens to capture beautiful images. All you need to do is to watch this video and apply these steps while filming. Number 1, when it comes to composition, it's important to apply the rule of thirds. This is a well-known technique used in film and is based on scientific evidence suggesting that our eyes are more drawn to 4 intersecting points at the corners of a frame instead of the center. If you look at any Hollywood movie, you'll notice this principle applied. To place the main subjects on one or more of these points for an aesthetically appealing outcome. While for subjects with authority, like in teaching videos, placing them in the middle creates an authoritative impression. Try using your camera's rule of thirds overlay to help you get great compositions, and make sure to put your subject on one of those 2 lines running across if they aren't centered. Number 2, balance is key when it comes to shooting videos. Your audience can sense if your shot is unbalanced, even if they don't know why. To counter this, you can make sure that something appears on the opposite side of the frame to your subject. This could be anything from a lamp to a building. You don't have to be restricted to horizontal balance either. Vertical or diagonal composition works too. Just remember that having balance in your frame will create a much more cinematic image and maintain a better viewer experience regardless of the type of video. Number 3, leading lines. Leading lines are an important aspect of composition. They naturally draw the audience's attention to your subject or away from it. These lines can be found in everyday objects like hallways, tables. Take a look at this frame. I use both the horizontal and vertical lines to take the viewer's eyes towards the speaker. You see, the human eyes always look for what is familiar. But trust me, when your composition is bad, a mechanic will tell you, I just don't know what's wrong with the video, but something's definitely wrong. Number 4, depth. Depth is an important element to consider when shooting. Blurring the background with a lower aperture will be one way to achieve this and remove any distractions for your viewer. Another simple way is making sure that your subject is far away from the background. Doing so will create more depth and a more cinematic look. I have seen many filmmakers film interviews up against the wall, giving your image absolutely no depth, making it very flat. And it doesn't look cinematic at all. Professionals use grading to create separation between the subjects and the background. And that's why the orange and teal look is famous in the film world. Headroom, or leading room, is a filmmaking phrase which is used to provide some space from the top of the frame to the top of your subject's head. It is usually desirable to have their eyes roughly 2/3 from the top of the frame and not right at the top. If there are too many empty spaces above their heads, this can lead to a wrong composition. Although this isn't a hard rule and a fast rule, you must consider all shots on an individual basis, depending on your messaging and shot type for the film. A good rule to follow will be keeping their eyes on the top line in accordance with the rule of third. You see, it's back again. Leading room, on the other hand, or looking room, you should leave 2/3 of the frame unfilled in front of your subject so they have some space to look into. The basic principle is to give more room in front of the subject than behind them. Number 6, having a dominant subject is essential. To ensure your audience knows exactly where their eyes need to go, fill the frame as much as possible with non-distracting elements. Having a dominant subject doesn't rule out wide-angle shots. It just means giving the audience a clear direction on where to focus. The frame should be filled and any empty, unnecessary space removed, unless it's intentional for artistic reasons. If filling the frame is required, avoid visuals which will be either too bright or distracting, having motion, as this can confuse viewers. All these components together will create an image that clearly conveys the idea you're trying to communicate. Number 7 is my best step, and it is to break all the rules. Each of these rules communicates something. So to break the rules will also communicate something else. I have a bonus step, like I promised you earlier, and that is be a team player. Whether it is the owner of a location or an interviewee, whether we like it or not, they are part of our team. I have interviewed billionaires and highly placed people, and I have had to move things around in their offices 90% of the time. In fact, many of their aides or the people who were responsible for arranging the interviews will become my new stumbling blocks to achieving the kind of composition I want. However, this does not deter me, as I always remain friendly and tell them how much better the composition will look. As an added precaution, I make a mental note of how everything was set up prior to arranging it, so it can be returned to its original position afterwards. In fact, I take a picture. All in all, by remaining polite and courteous, one can get what one needs out of any situation. And that's it, folks. Don't hesitate to send in questions in the comments section, and I will surely answer them. Also, subscribe and follow for more filmmaking secrets and equipment giveaways. But more importantly, don't forget to keep making films. That's the sauce to getting better. See you in the next video.